Hello guys, here again in another video of the Wheel of Free. I'm still working on how to say hi every time I start a video, but yeah, don't be surprised if you end up seeing something like that later in the future. So the introduction. I'm heading home right now from a house we just finished remodeling and someone's living on it now, and I went to pick up all this trash that we had left on the garage. We were just leaving it there until it was time for it to be picked up, so today was the time. And it looked like it was gonna rain, so I took my minivan to collect all this trash to avoid getting it wet and then dealing with wet trash and whatnot. But yes, this is the second take, I believe that's how you call it, when you already recorded once but either got interrupted or the video didn't work as planned, or now that I plan anything, sorry for the Spanglish, now that I plan anything ahead of time, like a script or something, but more of just like an idea that I've been telling myself again and again, just wondering about. But yeah, let's try to re-record this video again. This is the second take of the Wheel of Free. Cut. I need to work on my editing, but anyways, so the thing I want to share with you guys today is part of my idea of how to make house, I don't know if that's the right term, but basically how to pay rent for cheap. Right now I just left a house that we just remodeled and they're renting the house for $1,800. That's crazy, especially here in Texas. It is the new crazy, because it's not crazy by itself. It's like the new crazy because it's happening everywhere around Texas, and in some other places of the US it's happening even worse. And I know a lot of people are like, well, inflation, it's normal, everything's gonna go up, better start getting used to it, better start looking for ways to make more money. It's fine if you want to think that way, but I can't just accept that. It's not like I'm complaining, because I'm a business owner and I kind of have a privilege, if you want to call it that way, because it's not really a privilege, but something you actually work for, where I can put as many hours as I want per day. If I need to make some extra money, I just stay working a little bit more, because even though I'm a business owner, I own a corporation, I still get paid a salary. So if I want to make extra money, I still need to put in more time, and I still get paid by a certain hourly wage, if you want to put it that way, based on the salary. And time to time I do take on some small jobs that I get paid cash and try to make some extra money. But not all people are the lucky, if you want to use that word. Most people wait years in order to get a raise at the place they're working at, and a raise you can get in a job is not gonna keep up with inflation. Inflation, we're talking about price, gas prices, especially like lumber. If you're trying to remodel your house, material prices, they go up on the weekly basis, if that's a term. What I'm trying to say is that this week lumber could be $6 a piece. Next week 2x4 could be $10 a piece, and that's $4 extra that you have to pay per piece. That if you're trying to remodel your house, it's not like you can go and ask your boss, hey, can I get a raise? I was trying to remodel that house and I had the money saved, exactly the amount of money I needed to buy the material, but now material is almost double the price, so can I get a raise? And well, that's not the case. In most places where you can just go and ask for a raise, depending on the inflation that is happening, on that date. But you know, having your own business is a different thing. You have a little bit more flexibility on the money you can make. But back to the subject. How can we make the money you spend on rent or mortgage a lot more affordable? And I have an idea. I have an idea that I'm still working on the math, but according to the math that I have so far, everything seems to be right. Like, pretty much saying that this plan can work. But what I'm trying to say with the math is, you know, if someone asks you, is it 2 by 2 4? The answer is right? 2 plus 2, 4. 2 times 2 equals 4. The answer is correct. So with the plan that I have, that I'm working on, I'm working on the math where the result is the correct result. So in other words, you know, if later in the future people will look at the plan and be like, you know what, I don't think people are gonna try to support you on this project because it might sound too good to be true. But then again, it's not about too good to be true or how it sounds or who is it coming from, or, you know, it's all based on the idea that you know, I have an idea, I'm working the math, and if the math is right, then trust the math. Don't trust the person that is solving the problem, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm not a saint, but then again, I'm not trying to do this for my own sake in a way. Yes, it's gonna benefit me in a way that because I'm gonna be part of the project, I'm gonna be part of, you know, of this community that I'm trying to build. It's gonna benefit me, but it's gonna benefit me in the same way that it's gonna benefit anyone else that pitches in on this project. And the way that I wanna make this project become a reality, and I'm gonna use this example. Churches, you know, churches, they're a community, and they collect money on the weekly basis. They collect evangelist churches, they collect up to 10% of how much people make on the weekly basis, and they collect as kind of like support. That's how people support churches, how they help churches pay their bills in a way, and help them build more churches, and give them money for whatever cause they're trying to solve or, you know, have going on. But the thing is, this is something that I'm not really okay with, you know, the money that goes into church. Is that you know, you have a lot of members of your church that are giving money to you based on the belief, you know, that they're gonna get either, well, not in the belief that they're gonna get compensated for it, but more in the belief that that's the right thing to do, because that's what the Bible says in a way. You know, and they're giving 10% of their income, of weekly income, which for a person that makes $1,000, they're giving you up to like 200,000. I'm sorry, 100,000. Not 100,000. I'm sorry. If they make $1,000 on the weekly basis, they're pretty much giving you $100 every week. $100 every week. If you have 100 members, which is that? Is 100 members? Is that $10,000? That is $10,000, right? 100 times 100. Unless my math is wrong, I think that's $10,000, which is a lot. I really want to do the math. Is that $10,000? Whoa. But that's if you have 100 members, right? 100 active members of the church that are giving you up to $100 per week. It worked out right. 100 times. for sales. Well, that's pretty good amount of money. You have 100 members. $10,000. $10,000. That's, and and that's only a portion of the money that people actually give out to church. Because I see people give more than $100,000, more than $100. Some people be giving like up to like $200 on the weekly basis, which is $20,000. On the weekly basis. We're talking about in 10 weeks. If they're giving you $100, $10,000, that's $100,000 in 10 weeks. With $100,000 in 10 weeks, I mean, if they have a system like kind of like the system I work in, where you buy wholesale and my customers buy wholesale and they pay a fraction of what the house really is worth. For instance, they can buy a house for $60,000 and put in $40,000 and remodel it, right? And then sell it back to the market or rent it or whatever they want to do with it. If church members, they have something going on similar to that, where they're putting in money for the church to grow and whatnot. But in some cases, church members, they're struggling. They're giving you what they think is right. But in reality, that's $100 per week that they could have used to buy more groceries, buy gas, buy whatever they need. And it's crazy. They're giving you their breath, like pretty much taking food from their kids and putting it in the church. And as long as they think that's right, anybody can do whatever they want with their money. But the thing is, what I'm trying to go with this is, yes, I guess fine to invest on the church and make it grow and all this, but wouldn't you like it more if the church was to invest back on the members of the church? I mean, after all, they're not even paying taxes, from what I heard. I need to make my research on that. I'll probably have one of my members, my team members, research more about that. But like, if they're making up to 100,000, if they have 100 members, up to 100,000 in 10 weeks, meaning that each 10 weeks they have the money to buy a house, remodel it, and have one of their members live in that house. Especially if that member that they're gonna be giving the house to, and not giving it as to like, here, a gift from us to you. And maybe it could be a gift in like, stay living here for 10 years, and if you're paying in your house that you're living on right now $1,200, in this house you're just gonna be paying us half of that, like $600 per month. And believe me, $600 per month in rent, that's really good. That's really good. You're gonna be helping your members a lot. And I think by helping your members a lot, they're giving you $100 per week. If they know that that $100 per week is going to, for same members of the church, meaning that if now that they're saving $600 per month, now they have an extra $600 that they can either put back into the church, and increase the amount of money that is coming in on the weekly basis, meaning that you can have more houses built or remodeled for your members to live in a short amount of time. Eventually, all those 100 members, they're gonna be living in houses owned by the church, and the church money is gonna be increasing even more. Not only the church money, but the value of the church, because they're gonna be owning houses. And I don't understand why there's not, now that I know of, a church that does something like this, which is crazy, right? And that's something that I want to do with my company. Not only with my company, but my company is just a tool to get these remodels done. Because the end goal is not for my company to own these houses. Nope, not at all. The company, my company Fancy Works, is just the tool to remodel, to build, and to manage how this is gonna play out. The ownership of all these houses, of all these buildings, because one thing is remodeling a house and building a house, but if you want to make this even a lot faster, you can build apartments. You can save yourself a lot of money building apartments than building, you can build 100 units in about an acre. No, sorry, not an acre. I mean about maybe 10 acres. Let's say 10 acres. To have all your church members living in that apartment unit, if they want to. And for a really cheap amount of, for a fraction of the price they pay in rent in wherever they're living in right now. So I want to do that with the Wheel of Fear project to begin with, because that's just the beginning. Our Wheel of Fear project is based on the Venus project, where they were trying to build a city, but it never got started. They had a prototype going on that I'm hoping I can visit pretty soon, with the help of you guys supporting me. And the way I want to do it is, I'm not asking for $100 per week. I'm actually asking for $2 per week, and I'm hoping to hit at least 100,000 subscribers, which is gonna allow us to collect up to 150,000 per week in donations, to start buying land, to start designing this city, to start just investing on our future of this community that we're trying to build here on YouTube. And hopefully we can do more than just be a community in YouTube that has a good cause. More than a cause, we're just trying to resolve this problem, because that's what I'm trying to do, honestly. It's just resolve this problem. Most people are okay with the amount of money they spend on the daily basis just to survive, because minimum wage people, that's what they're doing. They're just making enough money to survive in a way, and that feels, I don't like that personally. I don't like owning people money. I don't like having to get in debt in order to have something good. And I'm not trying to become rich, wealthy, or anything like that. Honestly, I'm just trying to have as much freedom as I can. And when I say freedom, it's like, when I started working on my company, I was investing up to like 100 hours per week on my company, doing odd jobs, just trying to get experience, building and remodeling and whatnot. And as I progressed, now I was able to get things done a lot faster, so I was investing 80 hours per week. And then I started hiring people, good people that they're good at what they do, and some of them, they learn with me how to do what they know how to do now. And now I was investing 60 hours per week. And then when I hired people to work on the office, I was investing up to 40 to 50 hours per week. What I'm trying to get is to at least invest 30 hours to 20 hours on my essentials, meaning that it only takes 40 hours per week of my time to support my family, to support me, pretty much saying having enough money or making enough money to pay my rent, my mortgage in this case, pay for our groceries, pay for our energy bills, only needing to invest 20 hours of my time. I'm doing that, and that's my goal. I don't mind investing 20 hours of my time, trying to support my family. And I know by decreasing the amount of money people spend on their rent, on their mortgage, it's putting more time on their lives, and they can choose to spend to spend that time however they want. The extra time that I'm gonna be getting, that's going for the Wheel of Fear project. That's my passion right there. That's my dream. That's my lifetime dream, goal, whatever you want to call it. That's what basically, I don't know when I'm going to die. I could die tomorrow. I can die today. could die anything, but just by leaving this video on YouTube, and maybe one of my kids come across this video later in the future, they are gonna know what what's all about. You know, it's kind of like living my, ¿cómo se le llama esto? I'm saying in Spanish because I forget some words in English sometimes. Es la herencia para mis hijos. Para mis hijos, for anyone that wants to, pitch in, kind of like, inheriting my will in a way. Not my will as in what I own, but my will as in what I believe in. And I believe in this world is really beautiful. It's full of things that sadly we don't have time to enjoy most of the time. And it's awesome to have the time to enjoy these things that we're putting in this world, for us, to take advantage of, to enjoy to the how you say, to the maximum, if you want to use that word. And I wish I had more time to travel with my kids, explore the world. There's videos, images that I seen only by phone that I wish I could one day visit with my family, but I don't have time to do so because inflation, man. I don't want to blame it on that. It's mainly right now. I could take vacations, maybe like 2 or 3 times per year, and I'm hoping that's the case next year. Right now, this year, my goal is to get out of debt, and I'm pretty close with the money that I'm making on the weekly basis. Just today, I'm paying this person that I own $2,200. I'm paying that debt off, and it feels awesome. It feels amazing to be able to pay back the trust that people put back in you. And man, I wish I was able to do that with everyone that I still owe money to. And I'm sorry, I want to take this time to apologize for the ones that I've been struggling to pay the money back in time. I do pay interest on the money that I owe people, so kind of in a way to have a peace of mind that I'm not taking advantage of them in a way. But my goal this year is to get out of that, and I think if my business keeps growing how it is right now we're just getting started with the project.